NCT and WayV's Lucas now has allegedly 3 ex-girlfriends exposing him for his dating behaviors. That's right. What started off as a small rumor earlier this year has now become a full-blown attack. Looking back on my behavior of the past, it was clearly wrong. Lucas, proceed with caution. Hi, I'm Corey. I am going to be talking about everything that has happened regarding Lucas's controversy. There is a lot to uncover because each alleged victim has a lot to say. The information they have recounted is very detailed. I am hoping I haven't left anything out, but you can let me know in the comments below if I have. Please bear with me, as this is going to be a long and detailed video. Let's begin. The first alleged victim is Korean and came forward on Twitter with a very detailed thread about Lucas's alleged behaviors during their time dating together. Fans were able to quickly disprove some of the evidence provided by the first alleged victim. We will refer to the first alleged victim as A. A. said the following.
I'm about to expose that he is a cheap Chinese man. Firstly, he expressed interest in me and got my number, with that we started dating. But he asked to break up suddenly as he was having it hard due to schedules, so we broke up without any negative feelings. But that's where the problems all started.
A claimed after their initial breakup, Lucas would still want to see her but as a friend. Allegedly visiting her on his days off at hotels or her house and make her pay for everything. A claimed his behavior was the same while they were dating and even asked her to buy cigarettes. A claimed Lucas's excuse for leeching money off her was because
he said that since he is a celebrity, he can't go outside or use his card, otherwise he'll get caught by his manager.
A continued her Twitter thread adding that she would buy luxury brand items for him, and he would ask her to book hotels by sending photos of hotels he wanted to go to. A claimed.
At one point, he said he's starting to earn a lot of money, so if I don't buy him a house or car, then to not give him anything. A says, he even gaslit me saying there was no one else that was able to understand him.
A claimed that Lucas would allegedly only eat room service food at the hotels she made a reservation to, sleep and then leave the hotel, without even thanking her. After staying at the hotels, he would ghost her, cut off communication with her. Fans, however, were quickly able to prove that some evidence in the initial thread was fabricated. There is a voice chat that A brought up as evidence. Fans found that this voice chat was taken from a Bubble app voice message that was sent to fans. In the voice chat provided by A, Lucas says, "I just got out of the shower. I now have to go prepare." A fan found the original audio from the voice messages sent on Bubble. Fans believe that voice messages can be easily edited. That is the initial full story of A's accusations against Lucas. Now we will talk about the second alleged victim accusing Lucas of allegedly similar behaviors. We will refer to the second alleged victim as B. B is a Chinese girl. B claimed while Lucas and her were dating, Lucas would ask her to buy luxury goods and she found that he cheated on her. B claimed she wasn't going to expose Lucas until she saw A's initial post. B says,
"More girls have had the same experience, and I realized that he actually talked behind a girl's back, and spread rumors about her. I feel completely betrayed. I don't think this is a simple relationship issue anymore. I don't know if other girls will stand up after me, but I hope that through my experience, everyone is on high alert and sees what kind of a person he really is."
B showed evidence of receipts and photos of things that Lucas allegedly asked from her. This was shown in her chats with him. B circled the date on the receipt for a Balenciaga jacket that Lucas asked for. B claimed,
Before visiting my place, he made an excuse of not bringing enough clothes with him, so he asked me to buy some. He requested 2 specific brands, YSL and Balenciaga.
B provided photos of Lucas wearing the Balenciaga jacket as proof. In the photos B took shows they were both drinking, and she provided a photo of him sleeping. B shared how she met Lucas.
At first, I was just a fan. If there was someone I liked, I would occasionally to their schedules. One time, I found an account named Lucas's iPhone while searching on AirDrop. I sent an emoji sticker using my name as my id just for fun. From that day, we started chatting and added each other on WeChat. During that time, I thought I was a lucky female lead in a drama, but I was yet to realize there wasn't only one female lead.
B provided the screenshots for the AirDrop and WeChat. B claimed that Lucas allegedly asked to visit her place. She picked him up from the hotel he was at. B says,
He found out that my house was near the same place as his schedule. He kept asking to come over to my place and told me that he wanted to go someplace with no one around. He's of the opposite gender and someone I liked during that time, so I thought there was more to it and asked if he had a girlfriend. He denied that he did. If I knew that he did, then I would have never let him come to my place and wouldn't have had any more contact that I had with him afterwards. At that time, I naively thought that love finally found me, so I picked him up and took him to my place from his hotel after he finished his schedule. I asked him then, "Your manager doesn't care?" He said his manager was sleeping in another room and wouldn't know that he left.
B uploaded receipts of the car rides she took to his hotel and back home as well as the car ride sending Lucas back to his hotel. This next part is very detailed and long, so please bear with me. B talks about what Lucas allegedly did when he arrived at her house and it does not sound good at all. Lucas allegedly talks negativity about the NCT, WayV group members. B says,
The very first thing he does after arriving to my house is smoke and asked me to join him. Then we began drinking. Once he began chatting, he began talking about his friends. He mentioned his friend from his trainee days, who hadn't debuted at the time, saying he is trash. He talked about his group members, saying that they don't like listening to others, don't work hard and can't be led by someone. He went on to say that a particular group member stole his fashion-related work opportunities. He said that some of people debut based on their visuals and not on talent. He said that he didn't like going on Running Man China because it was tiring and stressful due to his seniors. He even said that he didn't like when fans take photos of him at the airport. He started telling me about his family. He said his family wasn't wealthy, his dad's investments failed and needed him to earn enough money to buy a house, car, etc. He complained about how society was so unfair. I thought he was a hard-working person, but after I saw the other posts about him, I realized he was trying to manipulate me. This shocked me because he was totally different from how he was on camera. I was blindsided by him being an idol, but I thought he was being genuine. He told me how hard he worked and said that I'd understand him. I imagined that I could be open with him too. He slept at my place, and I sent him on a ride home before his schedule began the next morning.
B claimed she was put on standby while Lucas allegedly went out with other girls. B says,
There were times I'd ask if he wanted me to go to his schedules. Sometimes he would say that it's a waste of time and that I should prioritize studying and not go. I thought he was just thinking of me, but now I realize that he was seeing someone else. When I did go to a schedule, he would ask if I had a place and if I was by myself. He would disappear after confirming that I had a roommate with me. Since I couldn't stand being on standby anymore, I confront him in December. His excuse was being busy with his schedules and used our friendship to manipulate me so that I wouldn't say anything after one of his members' scandals arose. By then I saw right through him and didn't contact him afterwards. Thankfully, I've been taught to be an independent girl with the ability to speak my mind. If a girl who was mentally weak or wanting love encounters with such a trash bag, would she develop mental issues?
Okay everyone, bear with me. We are almost through B's accusations against Lucas. Not much left. B alleged that Lucas had not been truthful during their time together. B says,
While we were in contact, I continuously checked if he had a girlfriend and if he was contacting other girls, but he always denied it. He claimed he didn't drink alcohol like this with other girls. I truly believed his lies and thought he was just a boy looking for love. I didn't believe he would take advantage of his celebrity status and his fans' love to satisfy his own needs through tricks, having a girlfriend while talking to other girls, meeting different girls in different cities, and speaking badly about his other girls. His actions make me feel so bad about myself and the other girls. The public, I know, will forget about these things in due time. And I know a lot of people will judge me for this. I know that I'm destroying myself for this. I'm not doing this for any other reason other than helping those who believed him no matter what, just like I did, can now know the truth and no one else will be hurt like I was. I hope no guy or girl will be manipulated in a relationship.
Okay, B's accusations are over. Now with all this controversy spreading on the internet faster than ever, SM Entertainment at this time did not respond to the first accusations, A's accusations. Netizens, at this time, were saying their lack of response is giving the public reason to believe that the accusations are true. Even Lucas's largest Chinese fansite Lucas CHFC has closed. They announced that the admin team has collectively decided to resign. Hello everyone. LUCASCNFC's admin team has resigned altogether, as of today. If anyone wants to take over, you can drop us a private message. Regarding the birthday support from prior, funds collection has already closed. We are refunding all of the funds to everyone within 48 hours, so please take note and check. Lastly, we wish everyone all the best. While many fans are finding all these accusations hard to believe, Lucas's Chinese fansite has reason to believe they are done with Lucas. The third alleged victim claimed Lucas allegedly cheated on her with other girls, now assuming they were the other alleged victims. We will refer to the third alleged victim as C. C claims the following.
The purpose of this post is for people to see through his on-screen persona. He gets in contact with girls privately and cheats on them, taking advantage of his fans' love. He's the first celebrity I liked. I used to be his fan. Before the accusations surfaced, I was a fool to think I was special and lucky to have known him in real life, even though he contacted me secretly. For me, he was like the sunshine and had always been kind, optimistic, and positive. He was my rock and motivated me to work hard and do better. I believe other fangirls feel the same way as me. After finding out the truth yesterday, I couldn't sleep. Turns out that me and him are just a horrible story of a trash bag cheating. Summer of 2019, I began supporting a celebrity for the first time, bought albums, attended fan signs, and every concert. Before his Beijing fan sign on December 2, 2019, I practiced with my friend what I should say to him. I continuously edited and rewrote my letter to him. My friends kept telling me to write my Instagram and Weibo ID and said maybe he'd visit the accounts. I thought it was impossible, because in my mind he was someone high up on a pedestal, something that I couldn't get close to. But unexpectedly, right after the fan sign on December 3rd, I received private messages on my Instagram and Weibo account from his secret account.
C uploaded screenshots as proof of Lucas's alleged Instagram and him asking for her WeChat. C uploaded a screenshot of Lucas allegedly sending C WeChat request. As you can see, the WeChat ID is the same as the one that the other accusers showed in their evidence. C claimed.
I was shocked and couldn't think clearly, but I felt bittersweet because I only liked him as a fan and knew that contacting fans secretly isn't professional for an idol. I was hesitant, but to be honest, girls are blindly confident when they are in front of something they like, especially when a scene from a drama is happening to them. This temptation for a fantasy cannot win against any sort of logic. He asked me to meet me at a hotel and thus his idol image shattered, but a genuine person came through a little. Not only could I chat with him all night, but I couldn't believe I could touch my idol and hug him, so I didn't believe this was a hidden trap.
C uploaded photos of screenshots of their conversation together and claimed that there are only 2 screenshots because Lucas allegedly asked her to delete the rest of the conversation.
When I arrived at the hotel around 3 a.m., I saw him and thought I was dreaming. I was nervous at first, because this was my first time supporting a celebrity and I got to see him in real life. I stood by the bed because didn't know what to do. He looked around the room to see if there was any liquor, and then laid down to chat with me after seeing that there wasn't any. He mentioned that he received a lot of letters at the fan sign, but only opened mine because he already noticed me from other events. He always kept my gifts with him. I let him know that this is my first time experiencing something like this, so I don't know what to do. He responded saying it was his first time too, and I believed it. We chatted continuously about the stress he was having and other stuff. I asked him if he had contacted others like this before. He took a moment to think and said there was only one, also from China, but thought the other girl wasn't good looking enough, so they only had one meal together and chatted. He expressed he really liked chatting with his fans, that way he can understand what his fans are thinking, but didn't keep in contact with that person. I was naive and believed this too. After a lot of chatting, I asked him if he wanted to rest since he had to fly to Japan soon. He said his group members will wake up soon, and that they head to the airport after packing their things, so he's not planning on sleeping. As our emotions ran rapid, we did everything other than anything **schwal. But before leaving, he told me not to tell anyone, and told me to delete all the chat logs. He suggested keeping in contact through WeChat or Hangouts but said I shouldn't go to the airport. I thought he was concerned about my safety, but he said whenever he's at the airport, he's tired and don't want to act like he cares. He doesn't pay attention to fans' faces who show up at the airport, so wasn't any need for me to go. Afterwards, I basically fell in love.
C goes on to say that anyone can go blind when they like someone. And more so if that person expresses they like you too.
You would start believing in those drama scenes.
C said it was a miracle for a fangirl. C claims the following.
He said it's destiny, I believed it. He said I was the only one who he could never forget, I believed that too. I have a special place in his world. I firmly believed that we were bounded together. But now, after getting in touch with other girls who were secretly messaged by him, I've come to realize that we had nothing at all. At the Bangkok fan meeting, we couldn't meet up and it made me sad. After I told him that and he talked to me over the phone for a long time that night. We talked about many things, including his love story before his debut. During that time, he truly loved his girlfriend who was also a trainee, but for reasons unknown his girlfriend was kicked out by the agency. When he made his debut and began to get busy, his girlfriend got depressed, argued with him always, and wanted to attempt suicide. He expressed he couldn't take care of her, so he broke up with her and planned not to be in a relationship afterwards. So, even though he liked me, he didn't have the ability to be in a relationship. I was being very understanding when I heard this and accepted this reason and thought maybe his love for me is just him acting on impulse. In hindsight, it wasn't that, but it was that he didn't have the enough energy to talk to so many girls. Someone should give him tips on time management.
C claimed that Lucas allegedly had been becoming more distant since he had been talking to other girls. C says.
The second time we met up was at a Skechers event in Shenyang. In the early hours of December 21, 2019, I was preparing to see him, but I had a slight fever, so I stayed at the hotel and didn't attend the event. At this time, I found out through a friend that another Chinese fan contacted him in secret. He met up with me after the event, in the evening.
C claimed that Lucas allegedly manipulated her into feeling sorry for him when he talked about being afraid of getting found out by his agency. Now when I say proceed with caution I mean it, because what you are about to hear next may shock you. C says.
This was the time when we had **X with no protection. I asked him if he wanted to wear protection, but he said it was fine. Maybe because he didn't do well enough, after he told me that he hadn't had **X in almost a year. I again believed this. Never did I imagine he'd be with another girl that very night after returning to Seoul even in that condition. After we had done it, I asked him about the secret contact another fan. He admitted to it and said that it's the same Chinese fan that he mentioned before. They had a meal together and a hug before leaving, but did nothing else. He even showed me his WeChat chat with this girl as proof. I saw a very friendly message sent to him by this girl and could see that she genuinely liked him, but his responses were not very sincere. When he did this, I thought him showing me the chat was bad, however I liked him, so I took it as him trying to show me that he's innocent and it's the girl not letting go. He was terrified that the girl would tell everyone about it. I asked him if he's afraid of losing fans, and he said he didn't care about fans leaving him, but he's afraid his agency would see it. I told him to pretend to get a new WeChat account and just don't stay in touch with her. He told me he's really scared, and he began smoking non-stop, almost smoking a whole pack within 2 hours. So, I kept comforting him. Thinking back now, I was being tricked into siding with him. Then he told me he had a very busy schedule for the new year, and that he'd become very popular, so we might not be able to meet anymore. Thinking about it now, he was probably giving me a warning. I joked saying it's okay, I'll just support another male celebrity from Hong Kong. To make things worse, I said I really liked this male celebrity even before I started attending events. He said, it's okay. His girlfriend is my friend. We filmed a show together and went to get our ears professionally cleaned. Then we began talking about his labelmates. He said although he really liked going out to party as a trainee, he thought artists like Chris Wu are idiots. He thought they just do things for fun and never actually train for real. Although I agree with him, but it was like the pot calling the kettle, you're not very good at what you're doing either. He's called Wu Toothpick, so you should be called Wong Needle.
Let's just pause for a second because that last part was hilarious. And back to C now.
He talked about how he's not fit for hard workouts, because his head is really small so he would be like a buff Barbie. He mentioned appearing on a military show in Korea and how he thought it was really tiring and so he faked having lower back pains to get off the show early. Are you worth having the fans being worried over? He even complained about a Chinese variety show doing malicious editing to turn him into a fool and hating it, so he hesitated about joining the next season. Also, I gave him a ring, and he always had it with him, so I asked him if he can give me something that I can carry around with me. He said no, he never does that. He told me when there's filming, he must take off the couple ring, and that I shouldn't think about it too much. I said then I'll give you a lot of rings so you can alternate. He said okay. Besides that, he seems to have a little kid in him, at least that's what I thought at the time. He told me he believes that he'll be able to travel to the moon once in his life. I asked him if he can take me, he smirked and said he'd think about it. I said if I earned enough money and bought a ticket first then would he come with me. He said okay. In conclusion, he can't give anything to me, but I can give everything to him.
C expressed she felt disappointed to find out he was in touch with other fans and not just herself.
After that, we continued to chat, and I still attended every concert, both in China and outside of China. Generally, he was always able to find where I was sitting and secretly greet me, but thinking about it now, maybe that was all just me being delusional. For the concert in Seoul, I only found out now that there are at least 3 fans who he had secretly contacted, including me. I want to ask him, that day when you looked so tired and left quickly, is it because there are too many people you have to greet sitting in the audience? When he went on tour in February 2020, he told me he just wants to be friends with me. I discovered later on that this is a line that he always used. We didn't have a lot of contact and didn't meet up until this year. But the funny thing is, we just bumped into each other by coincidence at an entertainment venue. Maybe it's just like he said, there's some weird destiny between us.
C uploaded screenshots of her chat with Lucas after he was spotted with XXO member Luhan. Luhan and Lucas were spotted together at the end of April and this is when she sent him a message. He replied in early May. At this point they had agreed to just be friends. Everything else C said is basically irrelevant, but she does analyze her timeline with A's timeline. If you'd like me to go through that, let me know in the comments below. I'm now going to talk about SM and Lucas's response to this. This morning I saw that Lucas posted an apology to this controversy. In his apology he basically admits to the accusations made about him. This is what he said. I apologize to those who were hurt by my wrong behavior. If you give me a chance, I would like to personally convey my words of apology. I also genuinely apologize to my fans who have given me lots of love and support. While watching the situation during the past few days, I have looked back on my past behavior and sincerely reflected on it. Looking back on my behavior of the past, it was clearly wrong, and it was an irresponsible behavior that betrayed the support that my fans have shown me for a long time. I would like to once again apologize to everyone who was disappointed by my actions. I will make sure that something like this does not occur again, and I will halt all of my scheduled activities to take time to reflect on myself. Lastly, I would like to apologize to the members, company staff, the many cooperative firms, and broadcasting personnel for causing an inconvenience. I sincerely apologize. This apology shows that Lucas is admitting to his faults. If the truth was not out there, then Lucas could have denied it. SM finally did respond to the accusations made about Lucas and fans are not going to like it. We apologize for causing concern due to our artist Lucas's personal life. We recognize the seriousness of this matter and have decided to halt the release of all content for WayV's Lucas and Henry's single, Jalapeno, including the song and music video that were scheduled to be released on August 25 at 6 p.m. KST. Lucas is deeply reflecting on having caused great pain and disappointment due to his wrong behavior, and the agency also feels responsible for our poor management of the artist. We once again deeply apologize for causing concern to many people including fans with Lucas's personal matters. Again, SM could have denied the accusations but they didn't. Not only that, but SM Entertainment staff were also called upon in the early hours of the morning to have a meeting at 4 a.m. That's all guys. If you made it through all that, then please leave a skull emoji in the comment section, because I think after all that is how we all must be feeling. Anyways, this took me such a long time to gather information together and a long time to edit the video, so I would really appreciate it if you could like the video and subscribe. Thank you. I'll be uploading more videos as there are more updates. I'm Corey and that's the video. Bye bye.